another word you've used, which I find critical, and that is solidarity. It's one that we use almost as often as sustainability or strategy or marketing or even trust. How does one bring solidarity to an arrangement between regions or countries or role players? How do you do that?
You know, it's a very good question because under the empire of necessity, solidarity becomes way more challenging than when everybody's thriving. And I tend to be optimistic because I've seen things during this pandemic that I would never have thought were that possible. I think we've seen in very local settings how many of us started being caring, you know, for our not only families and friends, but also our neighbors. The rediscovery of proximity, you know, and myself, I discovered some of the neighbors in the building where I was living for 3 years because I started worrying, thinking, is there someone maybe who is old and doesn't have family and is stuck in the lockdown? And I was just knocking at doors and going around, and which in the old world where, you know, we're all like in our daily routine and work and kids and school and, you know, complete traffic, we don't always open the eyes. So and I think there's a lot in the social economy that has happened with intergenerational forms of solidarities, with even, you know, citizens engaging with food banks, local governments also are targeting the most vulnerable, you know, trying to you know, avoid evictions for unpaid rent, freezing, you know, some of the. So we've seen a sort of revival of forms of happy proximity and solidarity that maybe we were not seeing any longer in the past. Then, of course, at the global level, unfortunately, we have not witnessed a similar engagement. When we look at the vaccine spread in OECD and developing countries, it's very disappointing, you know, this first reaction to close the borders, to target the well-being of one's citizens first and foremost, to get vaccinated in advanced economies. And then what we see today, of course, with the resurgence of waves is because as long as we have not fixed the issue globally, we're just not getting out of it, you know. So we see the cost of the absence of solidarity.